Is there a paternity issue
No,
currently?
it's not.
He's lying.
Not
I
at
have,
all.
I have the paperwork.
There's no paternity. Well, pull
I
it
have
out.
the paperwork.
Pull it out. Pull it out. Well, shut up.
Venus says she no longer recognizes the formerly nice, hardworking man she married 6 years ago. She says everything changed after she walked down the aisle, and now, after a 4-year separation, she says Michael has become a deadbeat dad to their 2 children, and she can't wait to be done with his marriage for good.
My son is 6 years old. He's level 3 asthmatic, and I struggle every day with my son, and this guy is never, ever, ever there. He was home like a live-in babysitter. That's it. I believe life is about second chances, and the divorce from him will be my second chance.
She's the reason why I got fired, Your Honor, because she used to call my job so much.
What did she want?
Nothing. She wanted me to come home.
Venus says today marks the end of this 6-year fiasco, and unless Michael can do some fast talking, she's going to be doing some fast walking today on Divorce Court.
Come to order. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Lynn Toller presiding.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here today with Venus Turner and Michael Amos. The two of you have been married for 6 years, though you have been separated for the last 4. Now you're seeking a divorce. Ms. Turner and Mr. Amos, you both have some financial issues you would like me to resolve. Before we get to that, Ms. Turner, I'm going to start with you. Why don't you tell me about your marriage and why we're here today?
Okay, he's like a scab that will not go away. He was basically, he had a good job when we first got together, and he got fired from the job and for a fight. And after that, he didn't want to get a job at all. I came to him, I said, you know, you need to get a job, we have kids. He said, what for? How can you say what for and you have kids? I don't want to cry. My son is 6 years old. He's level 3 asthmatic, and I struggle every day with my son, and this guy is never, ever, ever there. He was home like a live-in babysitter. That's it. He watched the kids. He didn't take care of them at all. I worked 2 jobs. I worked at a hardware store and I worked in a retail store. And I came home and he just sat all day and smoked marijuana and played video games. And it just got to a point where I was just completely sick of it, Your Honor, completely sick of it. He makes promises to my kids that he doesn't keep. I can give you a prime example. My 8-year-old son called on one Wednesday. The circus was in town. He said, Daddy, can you take me to the circus? He said, sure. My son called him 8 times on a Sunday, and he did not answer the phone. So I'm deathly afraid of clowns. I had to take my son to the circus and overcome my fear and sacrifice myself to continuously do for my children without any support from this guy. And I want him out of my life. I believe life is about second chances, and the divorce from him will be my second chance. I don't want to deal with him. I don't want to be with him. I just want everything to be settled. That's it.
And done with.
That's it.
Okay. Now, Mr. Amos, I've gotten one side of the story, emotional though it has been. I'm going to come to you with a clear mind and ask you, what is your version of the events? What do you think ended your marriage and caused you to be here today?
Well, first of all, Your Honor, let me start off by telling you, in the beginning, I thought she was a good woman, good mother, good friend, good person in general altogether.
Okay.
I walked into our relationship with a job. I left our relationship with a job. I had jobs all in between of our relationship.
So are you working right now?
Am I working right now? Yes, I am.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Are you
Now,
paying child support?
Am I paying child support? She just started putting me out for child support, so she cannot shake her head no, because it's not determined on what I'm supposed
Your
to pay.
Honor.
Yeah, let me ask you this though, Mr. Amos.
So,
do you need some guy in a black robe to tell you that your children need food and
Not at
and
all,
money?
Your Honor. Not at all. I have not seen my children since September. She can call me a deadbeat dad all she wants, but since I have not seen my kids, how can I take care of them?
What about the circus story? Was that accurate?
No, it was not, Your Honor. At the time when he called, the circus was supposed to end that particular weekend. Okay? It was not my pay week. I lived check to check. It was not my pay
Your
week. And
Honor.
I explained to my son
Your Honor.
that I cannot take him this weekend, but if the circus is coming to New York or somewhere else the next weekend, I will be able to take him to
Your
it.
Honor.
Circus notwithstanding, I can't take you to the circus, little man, but let's go to the park because the park is free. How about that kind of thing?
That's
He always breaks every promise every promise, Your Honor, that he makes to my children, he breaks
Ms.
them.
Turner,
Every
I'm
last
talking to
one.
Mr. Amos right now.
Your Honor, when I first moved to New Jersey, New York area, that's what I was doing. All of this stuff that she's talking about right now has only been since I have not been seeing my children.
And why have you stopped? You seem to be doing
I'm not
well.
the one that stopped. She stopped me from seeing them. I can't take them if I can't see them. And I don't even know where they live.
Okay. You said something interesting to me in your papers. You said you felt stupid as a husband because you never knew where your wife was and why she wouldn't come home. Explain that to me.
We decided to move to Atlanta. Okay? Now, she was to go down to Atlanta, find us a new place to live while I stayed back home and took care of the children. I haven't seen her wedding ring since the first time she left. And it was on 3-4 occasions when she left. She had it on the very first time she left to go to Atlanta to set up a new place for us to live. Every time after that, I've never seen it.
Your Honor, I took my ring off. Would you wear a wedding ring from somebody who's not providing for your children, who's always lying, who does not keep any promises? He just sits around all day, smoke marijuana
Your Honor,
with his family.
Okay.
So to me, I was not married
Your Honor,
anymore.
she did not get a job until the very last 6 months of our marriage, of us
That's
being together.
true.
But let me ask you this, Mr. Amos.
She did not work at all.
Did you hear me talking?
Yes, ma'am.
I certainly heard me talking.
When divorce court continues, can Michael turn the tables on Venus and prove that she is the deadbeat parent?
She never called the kids to make sure that they were up. Okay, fine, we have 2 boys and a girl. Each trip she was gone for at least 3 weeks. None of them were supposed to last more than 1 week.
Divorce isn't easy. If you want to share your story, you could be a guest. Call toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or visit our website at divorcecourt.com or become a fan at facebook.com/divorcecourt.
Divorce Court is back with the case of Venus Turner, who says she wants to divorce her husband because he is lazy and doesn't provide for their children. But will he prove her allegations wrong?
I used to have to be at work at 6:30 in the morning. We have a newborn child. She used to wake me up 1-2 o'clock in the morning to feed my child every single day on a consistent basis.
Name 2 or 3 of the many jobs you said you had while you were married.
The one that I walked in on, I worked for a dealership. She's the reason why I got fired, Your Honor, because she used to call my job so much.
What did she want?
Nothing. She wanted me to come home. And she's done it before on another job that I had after that too. And I actually came home and it was for nothing and I was mad. That wasn't even the only reason, Your Honor.
What was the other reason?
I used to have to be at work at 6:30 in the morning, Your Honor. We have a newborn child. She used to wake me up 1-2 o'clock in the morning to feed my child every single day on a consistent basis. It took me an hour and a half to get to my job, meaning that I had to be up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Okay? She had no job at all.
Your
none
Honor, I was
whatsoever.
on break from my job. I had a cesarean.
She's breaking my talk.
So when he came home from work in the morning time, if it was time for him to get up and feed the kids, I felt like that was a break for me to sleep until he was able to go to work. I could not stand on my own 2 feet. I was bent and hunched over. I was on Percocet. I was like in a daze. Basically, I was incapacitated.
I mean, you talking to a woman who's
Yeah.
had a couple of C-sections.
Yeah,
It
but-
wasn't like that.
Yeah.
I got up with the baby.
Yeah. But
know?
I mean, I needed his help because I was at home all day, not only with
A little bit of help here and there.
Yeah, but I was at home with 3
Your
kids.
Honor,
He's
she
not
had
saying
more-
that.
she
I
had
was
more than
home
help.
with 3.
Why don't you give me another reason why you believe this marriage did not work?
During her times when she was going down to Atlanta. She never called the kids to make sure that they were up. Okay, fine, we have 2 boys and a girl. I don't do hair. Every single conversation that we ever had on all 3 trips that she had in Atlanta, none of our conversations
long was
never
she gone
lasted
on
more than
each
5.
trip?
Each trip she was gone for at least 3 weeks. None of them were supposed to last more than 1 week.
Oh gosh, Your Honor, that is not true. The first time I went to Atlanta, my cousin lives in Atlanta. I went down there in February for my birthday, and I stayed for 9 days. He knew I was staying for 9 days. He's making up stories.
Was he working at the time?
No.
Yes,
I went
was.
grocery shopping.
Yes, I was. I used to.
Your
I
Honor,
was
he's
the-
a habitual liar. I'll give you another example. My sister hand walked him to a job. He never showed up.
That's a
Now,
lie.
Come on.
That's a lie.
They fired him.
That's a
he
lie.
never showed
That's
up.
a lie.
Never showed up.
That's
How
a
much
lie,
did you
and what
make
she's-
in the last 12 months, last tax return? How much
Ma'am,
was your
I mean,
income?
I didn't get a tax return last year because I owe taxes.
How much income did you report?
He
How
had a
much did
job.
you make?
Last year, I really didn't make much last year because I was
Okay.
struggling trying to find a job. That was last
He
year.
didn't have exactly what I said.
Yeah, no,
He
I mean,
did not
But-
have a
I
job.
Your Honor-
I know what's going on
But, Your
here.
Honor, I will
got
answer-
it together.
I will
Am I
answer-
talking? How much money has he given you for the children in the last 4 years that you have been separated?
$0 and 0 cents.
Not a dime?
Not a dime.
Not
He
a
doesn't
coat,
help
not
me.
a- not a-
He don't buy coats. He don't buy sneakers. He don't buy anything. He told me that he bought them stuff since last year, but like we had to go to child support court, and I told him, I said, okay, well, if you bought them things, bring them to court. Oh, I'm not bringing them anything because I can't see the kids.
When divorce court continues, how will Judge Lynn react when a fight about paternity goes too far?
Is there a paternity issue
No, it's not.
currently?
He's lying.
Not
I
at all.
have the paper.
There's no paternity. Well, pull
I
it
have
out.
the paperwork.
Pull it out. Pull it out. Well, shut up.
Do you think Michael is a deadbeat dad as Venus says he is? Call 1-800-282-1991 to vote now and see if America agrees with your opinion. You'll also receive some valuable offers. Call 1-800-282-1991 now.
If you would like your case heard on divorce court, call us toll free at 1-877-311-2222 or log on to our website at divorcecourt.com and follow us on Twitter at Divorce Court. Divorce Court returns with the case of Michael Amos, who denies his wife's allegation that he is a deadbeat dad. But will Judge Lynn see his true colors?
That speaks volumes to me. That you're mean and nasty to the mother of your children. That you're talking about. Shut up and pull it out or shut up. That tells me who you are. Mr. Amos, I believe that you're not making vigorous attempts to see your children. Is that accurate?
No, it's not.
He said they're not his. I'm
She's
going through child
lying.
support court
She's
right
totally
now,
lying.
and I'm going through paternity
Ma'am,
right now.
Ms. Turner,
Your Honor,
I'm not talking
can I
to you.
speak to you
I'm talking to
without
him.
interrupting me?
Go ahead.
All my life, I've been without a father. I know how it is to be without a father. I know how it is to be promised things. I'm still waiting on my big will from '82.
So
No,
how much
but
money do
anyway.
you think you've given your children for
And
support
within
or
that
anything in the
lifetime?
last year? In the last year. Have you given them a couple of hundred? Have you given them nothing? Have you
Yes.
given them a couple
Yes,
of
I
thousand?
have. Yes, I have.
That was a multiple choice question, not a yes or no question. Pick one.
I've spent money on my kids.
Okay, I got
Putting
you.
it in there, putting it in their hands? No, because they live with her.
He denies paternity of my kids, so I
No,
feel
I
like
do
it's a
not.
waste of time to
No, I
keep
do
bringing
not.
my
Well,
kids.
has he questioned paternity
Yes, I'm going to court right now.
officially within
Yes,
court?
yes.
So there has been a request for a DNA order?
Yes.
Is there a paternity issue
No,
currently?
it's not. No, it's not.
He's lying.
Not
I
at all.
have the paperwork.
There's no paternity. Well, pull
I
it
have
out.
the paperwork.
Pull it out. Pull it out. Well,
Don't
shut
be-
up.
Don't be rude and nasty in my courtroom.
Your Honor, I'm sorry.
No.
Michelle, I'm just
I
tired of her
am
lies.
speaking, Mr. Amos. That speaks volumes to me.
Mm-hmm.
That you're mean and nasty to the mother of your children.
Very
that you're
much
talking
so.
about. Shut up and pull it out or shut up. That tells me who
I'm
you
just tired of
are.
her lies every single day, Your Honor.
She's tired of you too, but she's not nasty like that. That
You don't
speaks
know
of
her.
you. Your manhood is what you decide to do. No matter what the world is putting in front of you, you
Your Honor,
you showed yourself.
I have.
Ms.
I
Venus,
have a
why
job right
no,
now.
I am not talking to you. Tell me about the $300 you are seeking from Mr. Amos.
Mr. Amos was staying with me. He was living in a shelter, and they put him out of the shelter. So I let him come and stay with me for a few months. But the person that I was with didn't want him in the household, which is not right. But I felt like, this is the father of my children. I don't want him out in the street. So I called my sister up. I said, can Michael come and rent a room from her? She said, sure, no problem. $300 straight away. I said, okay. He didn't have any money, no job. So I gave him the money. And he said, when he gets a job, he's gonna pay me back. I don't have anything, no, nothing. I get hung up on everything.
Mr. Amos, did you in fact borrow $300 for her and tell her you were gonna pay it back? If you don't let me finish a question, I am going to put you out. Did you ever borrow the $300?
I didn't borrow. I didn't live with her. I had a job at that time also.
Okay.
Which was in 2011
Your
when
Honor,
I
I
first
have a
moved
written
up here.
statement.
Let me see that. Is it something that he's seen?
Yes.
What is this?
I don't know if he's seen it or not, but I have a written statement from my sister that entails that I did give him the money, that he did live with me, and he rented the room.
When divorce court continues, did Venus pull a fast one on Michael?
It's a cable bill at her previous address in my name that I never lived at, nor did I have any knowledge about. Either her or her boyfriend did it.
Do you think Michael is a deadbeat dad as Venus says he is? Call 1-800-282-1991 to vote now and see if America agrees with your opinion. You'll also receive some valuable offers. Call 1-800-282-1991 now.
Divorce court returns with the case of Venus Turner and Michael Amos, who are ending their marriage after 6 years and 2 children together.
Mr. Amos, tell me about the $1,845.58 you are seeking from Ms. Turner.
It's a cable bill at her previous address in my name that I never lived at, nor did I have any knowledge about.
How did she get cable with your name?
I don't know. Maybe she know for one.
He is a
Do you have the bill on you?
I have the bill right here.
I'd like to see it.
I never lived
Thank
in
you.
their address, and they don't have my signature. Either her or her boyfriend did it.
He is a liar. He lived with me.
So you claim
Never lived
that
there.
they somehow got your information and secured cable in your name.
Yes, ma'am. And wrote a bad check.
And your response to this is?
He is a liar. He did cable for our children because they like the cartoon channel. So I allowed him to get the cable in his name for our children. And I don't feel like
So that is cable that he got for you.
Yeah, for
in
our
your
children.
house.
Yes.
Is
Not
that what
correct.
happened?
Not correct. Not
course.
correct, Your Honor.
Yes.
At that time,
Excuse me.
when she had cable, my kids was living with her, still is, and her boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
I'm her husband. I'm not going to live with her and
I got
turn
you.
cable on when she got a man.
I
that's-
got you.
Okay.
That is so not true.
Here's the deal. We've got a situation where we've got two very angry people trying to co-parent children. Well, actually not trying to co-parent. Mr. Amos, I don't believe most of what you say. You double back on your stories very easily. You interrupt people. You don't know what you're talking about. I asked for the name of a job. You really can't come up with one. I asked you, I've been paying. I asked you for how much did you declare on your taxes? Well, I really wasn't working. So you're done talking. I'm talking now. So I really don't believe you in that regard. I do believe you with respect to the $300. I do believe you. I think that happened. I think he said you would pay him back. I think you lent him the money, and I think that you deserve that $300. With you, this is in your name. I don't have any evidence that you were defrauded or that she defrauded the company or that somehow this is not something that you allowed or signed up to happen. And without that, I cannot make a finding in her favor that she took this out without your permission. Okay. I think the two of you need to hop off all that anger. I think you are a deadbeat dad. I don't think you're taking care of your business. I do think she's withheld the children from you on occasion, but I don't think you're a right guy. I think you're a hard guy to deal with. I think you're a difficult man to deal. You're difficult for me to deal with, and I got a robe on and a gavel and a guy with a gun that could shoot you. So don't tell me you're not a difficult man to deal with. That's be a right guy. Those children need support, and do that support.
I haven't had a chance.
Go see them. You don't have to have a chance to support them. You put a check in the mail. That's all it is. You Don't keep those kids from him. When he tries, you allow him to see them. Unless you have some concern about their safety, then you have to make that decision with court. And that's what you two need to do. Go to court, get a visitation order. But in the meantime, in between time, there is $300 in favor of Ms. Turner and no recovery for Mr. Amos. It is so ordered.
Thank you.
All rise. Parties may leave the courtroom.
Since the show, Venus says Michael hasn't made an effort to see his kids. According to Venus, 3 days ago, their youngest child was back in the hospital for his asthma, and Michael didn't even come. Venus says nothing has changed, and she's in the process of filing for a divorce.